Yes, it is the season of goodwill, but unfortunately for Crystal Palace their Boxing Day opponents weren't feeling very festive. Tottenham were ruthless here, no Christmas spirit whatsoever. Without head coach Patrick Vieira, who tested positive for COVID amid the outbreak that has infiltrated their first team, Palace were fearing the worst, illustrated by their attempts to have this game postponed. Their efforts fell on deaf ears with the Premier League, and Antonio Conte's men were just as unsympathetic. Palace hardly helped themselves either. Why Wilfried Zaha lashed out at Davinson Sanchez in the 37th minute, having already picked up an earlier booking, would have been beyond Eagles assistant boss Ocean Roberts, who was standing in for Vieira on the away bench. The winger's actions are unlikely to have made his isolating boss feel any better, either. Spurs boss Conte will empathize with Vieira, who had an open line of communication to the Palace bench. Spurs were gripped by their own COVID surge earlier this month, costing them their place in Europe. Conte will appreciate their predicament, but only to a point. He has bigger fish to fry. Tottenham are on a roll, undefeated domestically since Conte's arrival. They appeared headed for another season of ineptitude and discontent. Instead, they head towards 2022 with an air of excitement and anticipation. A Carabao Cup semi-final against Chelsea is on the horizon, a tie that will inevitably mean an awful lot to Conte, or at least his pride. But perhaps more pertinently for Tottenham, they are in the thick of the top four race. And although Conte may lament UEFA's decision to eliminate his team from the European Conference League last week because they could not rearrange their clash against Rennes before the December 31st deadline, the ruling could be a blessing in disguise. We saw how Chelsea benefited from having no European distractions under Conte during the 2016-17 season. No one is suggesting Tottenham are going to win the Premier League, but a top four finish would be viewed as a triumph, certainly by Daniel Levy. Of course, bigger tests lie ahead for Conte, but the signs so far are promising. In his own understated way, Conte tried to keep a lid on growing expectations after the victory. "We have to continue to improve," he said.